Good afternoon, everybody. We are live here in Washington, D.C. at the National Mall, getting ready for a national march for Israel. It's a pro-Israeli organization, and let's just go ahead and turn the camera. We got thousands of people have been making their way into the National Mall area here since about 8 a.m. this morning. I know the official program starts at 1 o'clock, and they've got several speakers for you on that. We'll get to all of that. We'll walk you through as we got nonstop coverage. We will have all the speakers in line for you. Plus, we're going to walk around and talk to a lot of supporters here and get their thoughts on what's going on right now. But meanwhile, we want to talk about our friends over at the Birch Gold Group. Now, we're probably just months away from potentially another government shutdown, which would be catastrophic in a lot of ways, but one of which would be your investments. And our friends over the Birch Gold Group want to make sure that you protect your savings and invest in precious gold, precious metals, silver, and gold. And they want to help you make that first step. Just simply text the words Trump to 989898. That's Trump to 989898 and get your free information kit. You might even get $10,000 worth of free gold with no money out of pocket to do that. What they're going to do is help you convert an existing 401k into a gold-backed IRA. They can do that. That's the Birch Gold Group. All right. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and walk as we normally do for an event like this. And as you know, and we'll show, we've got thousands. I know reports have said upwards to 40, 50,000 people I have seen. Potential could be here at the National Mall. So we're going to obviously try to show you as much as possible. Hey, what does this say? We're live on the air right now. Isn't it great to bring your kids out for an event like this?
Sorry?
It's just nice to have your kids out on an event like today.
Yeah.
What brings you here today?
We want to stand for Israel, and we are here to release the hostage, to put pressure to release the hostages, and to fight against anti-Semitism. We're from Canada, and we're representing Brock University today, and we want to say no to anti-Semitism.
Now, what is it like in Canada right now? I know we've seen reports around the world of different universities, as you could probably have seen. What is it like at Brock University?
It's pretty bad. The students are feeling very alone, unsafe, and very hurt by having everybody turn against us. They are disguising anti-Semitism with social justice, and that hurts a lot. There's a lot of anti-Semitism, and it's going unpunished right now. We've never had a voice before. Has
Justin Trudeau spoke out against this? I mean, where's his stance? We don't get a lot of, obviously, Canadian news. He was just here last week. I saw his motorcade go through there, which, by the way, the Canadian Embassy is just on the other side of the block. But what is his stance right now in regards to that?
He's pretty silent. He's pretty silent, pretty equivocal, just political. He doesn't want to ruffle any feathers, and he's not taking a stand with moral clarity.
Yeah. How about the kids? You guys, obviously, what grade are you guys in?
Grade 6.
Yeah, 6. How about you, bud?
1.
1. He's in first grade. How about you?
Grade 2.
All right, 3, 2, 6, and 1. How do you guys feel at school? Do you feel safe? Do you feel like your teachers, everybody's keeping you safe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have security behind our school.
Yeah. How about
I feel safe.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing that we want everyone to know is that
Lockdown. At least we practice lockdown.
We practice lockdowns. Isn't that a shame that in 2023 we're not practicing procedures for maybe a natural disaster or something like that? We're actually practicing for lockdowns for some type of terrorist attack.
Yeah. But the threat is real, and there's police and security around the clock for our school, because in Canada, schools have actually been a target, even last week in Montreal. There's Jewish schools, they go to Jewish school.
Isn't that amazing that we've had this conversation here in the States about protecting our kids at school from school shootings and things like that? And there is an easy solution to that. It's putting an armed, police officer, someone at the school, making sure that the bad guys don't get in. But you guys are doing that in Canada right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and our officer, like our security patrol is not armed, only police. That's why we need a police, and they're only providing us with one car, so we have to pay for extra police to be able to be there, because otherwise we don't have armed officers.
So you guys came specifically from Canada for this event. That's wonderful. And so while you're here, obviously taking the sights and sounds of Washington, D.C., but until then, let's continue to pray for our friends in Israel and our friends in Canada that are dealing with the same very things that your Jewish friends here in this country are dealing with.
I went to the Holocaust Museum yesterday with the kids, and they have their Daniel story, which talks about a story of a boy during the Holocaust, and it felt quite like eerily similar the pre-Holocaust, the Jews being targeted, just the hatred, like the things that's starting to change, and we're all of a sudden feeling a shift.
Let me ask you a question. Pulling up here, did you feel safe in Washington, D.C. right now? I know that when they had the pro-Palestinian march just weeks ago, I didn't see any of the fencing. I didn't see any of the National Guard. I didn't see any extra police ramped up. But today we have a lot of that. Do you feel safe being here in our National Mall?
Yes, I think that the Jewish Federations of America would not put up such an event without ensuring the safety and security. So I trust that they're doing whatever they need to. I trust the National Guards, the police to protect us.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I'll let you guys go get a good seat for everything. God bless you, and we'll keep praying for you. How you doing, sir? RSBN. We're Right Side Broadcasting Network. We're probably one of the #1 largest online conservative news outlets, and we're live right now from our nation's capital.
Okay, Larry Rosenthal from New Jersey,
Nice.
Jewish war veteran.
Okay, let's talk about why you're here, obviously, and why it's important to you.
Well, as a veteran, we're taught, and not just U.S., America, Canada, any other country, you don't fire upon civilians. What happened on October 7th would not have been done by any other country in the world. And these were innocent young people that were cut down in their prime of life. And Hamas uses hospitals, schools as a hiding place for their headquarters. And that's wrong, because most people don't shoot a civilian.
How about you, sir?
Well, we're here from the Jewish War Veterans of the United States.
Hold up your sign so we can get a good shot of that.
There it is. We're the oldest veterans organization dating back to 1896. And in 1933, we were the only veterans organization to march against Hitler. And that's why we're here today, because, one, we got to keep on letting everybody know what's happening in Israel. And just as we did in 1933, we have 8 states right now with us to march with us, all Jewish war veterans that have served in various military conflicts.
Yes, sir. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Joel Poznansky, and I'm from Maryland, and I'm a veteran. And I'd like to point out that the attack on Israel includes an attack on 2 million Palestinian Arabs who are citizens of Israel, who are not Jewish, and they are the only Arabs, Palestinian Arabs, who have the same vote, the same citizen rights as all the Israeli citizens. The idea that this is just an attack on Jews is wrong. It is an attack on freedom, democratic values, as well as, of course, Israel's right to exist. And what Hamas, which since they were elected over 10 years ago, has not held an election, has actually destroyed and killed the opposition parties, removed all civil rights for their own people, and there are a lot, therefore, they have a lot to blame for causing this and causing horrific damage to other citizens who may or may not support them, but certainly haven't had a say in anything for at least 10 years.
We're glad you guys are out here supporting Israel, and obviously, I was asking the other family, do you feel safe? I know that a couple of weeks ago, we had the pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, if you will, march come through here. They took over a couple congressional buildings, but you guys feel safe here today?
We're safe. Jews are responsible for each other, and if you look around with all this responsibility, we're totally safe.
Yeah, definitely feel safe. This is my country, and we're here. We protected it in the beginning, and we're going to be here now, and we're here strong, and we're going to support Israel. Yep.
God bless you guys. Yes.
In 1933, when a whole group of veterans led by Jewish war veterans marched in New York in one of the largest rallies against Nazism, there were also issues about safety because there was a pro-Nazi American movement, the American Bund, and they had demonstrations as well. Of course we feel safe. We live in a wonderful democracy.
Yes, you do. We appreciate your service. Jewish war veterans joining us here at the National Mall. I do want to take a moment to talk about maybe some tax deadlines that you might have missed. October 15th was your deadline for that, but don't worry. If you owe taxes, doesn't matter if it's $10,000, $1,000, $100,000, our friends over at Tax Network USA want you to feel relief that they have a solution for you. So go check out the information for that is on your screen. Do not delay. Do not live a life of anxiety of what you're going to do. Let these guys do it. They're the professionals, our friends over at Tax Network USA. Okay, let's walk. There's a lot of stuff to show you here, and that was just, I mean, briefly, within the first 10 minutes, you can see obviously people are very willing to talk about what's going on. Okay, you're looking that way. That is where the stage, that's where the speakers will start at 1 o'clock here locally. We will have that, those speeches for you. When that starts, I'll be instructed. We'll go ahead and cut to that so you can find out. I think there's several, 4 or 5 speakers, I think, messing one of them that we hear.
כל הקהל היקר והאהוב שתומך בישראל, תודה לאוהבי ישראל. כשרואים את התמונה הזאת, אי אפשר לא לחשוב שאנחנו בעזרת השם הולכים לנצח. תודה. I love you too. אז כל הנוער היקר הזה שנמצא כאן, שהגיע מרחוק, באוטובוסים, במטוסים, ועשה באמת השתדלות גדולה, לקחת חלק בתמיכה. קודם כל, השם ישמור אתכם. ובזכות המעמד הזה...
Why is this so important to you today?
We're here to show support for Israel and to march against anti-Semitism.
Have you guys experienced that at your school, in your community?
Yeah, so we go to Whitman. There's been a lot of stuff. There was like on the sign, on the like when you walk in, it said like Jews are not welcome here. That was last year, and so already we kind of thought that it was a possibility, and now you definitely see things like on Instagram, people post things, and you're like, oh, I don't know. That's like I don't think we expected it as much, but it's here at our school. I was just going to
say, I couldn't imagine being a young person today dealing with all of this. I'm a Christian, and I know how it feels when we get that towards Christians. And so now our world, the heightened of everything that's going on. How do you guys deal with that? I know that social media, you're seeing a lot of posts. You see all the horrible images on TV. How do you guys deal with that personally? It's got to be tough to see a lot of stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I'm also Christian, so I know how it feels. I think just standing together and having open, honest discussion about it really helps. It is really hard seeing all the brutality on the news and everything, but I think, standing together, standing in solidarity, marching, protesting, gathering peacefully is really good, and I think just supporting the Jewish community at a time like this, especially at Whitman, we've seen after the rise in anti-Semitic incidents, the community really came together and, held vigils, held walkouts. So they just really rallied to support the Jewish community, and I think that's the most important thing we can do in this time is that just increase the love for the Jewish community so you can just, rally against all the hatred.
That's a great answer. Hold your sign up real quickly. You've got an Isaiah quote on there. 62-1. You've got all these different signs. This is so great to come out here. Do you feel like a sense of camaraderie that you've got everyone, especially a lot of young people that are out here sharing the same voice?
I mean, I think there's a lot of different people here as well, which also helps add to all this camaraderie and all this community feeling. So I think that definitely helps as well.
It's interesting. They had a couple weeks ago, they had the pro-Palestinian march or gather that was here. And I noticed so much anger out of that movement. They're so angry. You've got praise and worship music going on. Everyone's got a smile on their face. We're very optimistic. You know why? We've got God in our hearts, and that is what's the biggest difference in all of this. But do you feel safe here? I mean, obviously, I've asked this question just about everyone because I just want to get a sense. When you walked up from wherever you guys parked, walking in, did you have a sense of security?
Yeah, I was very worried about the security here. I mean, I think they did a good job. They had a lot of people, a lot of security guards checking who came in, making sure nothing got through. But it's definitely very scary, like a large gathering of Jews, like in public. So I was very scared to come in here. But I'm glad I did, though.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. God bless. And I hope your teachers don't penalize you with extra homework when you go back tomorrow. But thank you for coming, and you guys enjoy the rest of the day. God bless. Love it. I love young people getting involved in all of this. Yes. RSPN, Right Side Broadcasting Network. We are a conservative online news agency. We are pretty much the voice of the conservative movement. We are the official stream for President Donald J. Trump and his campaign, so that's what we do. That's who we are. We're live on the air right now. You can always go back and watch it, though. Thank you for coming out here. Thank you. There you go. Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yeah, we're based out of Alabama. We're live on the air right now. So, yeah. What you got? Perfect.
לפנים משורת הדין ומנהיג את עולמו מלפני המלאכים דורש בשלום עמו תוכו רצוף אהבה רצוף אהבה ביתו צפוף לרווחה צפוף לרווחה מוציא לנו מחילה לא רק בשעת הנעילה לך דומיות תהילה עתידו לתת פר שמן ששון תחת אבל מטה תהילה תחת רוח קאה לך דומיה תהילה.
Now, I asked earlier, is there a physical march? Is there actually a march route? And from what I understand, there is not. That the gathering is specific to this area, which it is called March for Israel, but there is no actual march outside the designated areas here. So I just want to let you guys get a clear understanding about that. So we'll continue to walk around. Meanwhile, we want to make sure that you stay up to date of what's going on in our nation's capital and not only what's going on in our country. You can always go to our website, rsbnetwork.com/newsletter. That is one great way to stay in touch of what's going on, not only here in Washington, what's going on in Congress. We can talk a little bit about the failure of the impeachment yesterday on Alejandro Mayorkas. Grace Saldana will, I'm sure, kick out a nice newsletter about that. So sign up for our newsletter. Go to rsbnetwork.com/newsletter and sign up for that. and get that delivered to your inbox. It's absolutely free. We don't collect your data and sell it off to anybody. So please go check it out, rspeednetwork.com/newsletter. All right, we've got some students here making his way. Let's see if we can walk down this way.
Want to interview someone?
Well, what's your name? Where are you from?
Mark Levinson from New Jersey.
Yeah, what brings you here today?
Support Israel. People got to hear the truth. Israel is the most moral army in the world. Just ask Colonel Richard Kemp, commander of the Afghan forces for Britain. Israel's fighting for its life. There's one Jewish state, doing the best we can. We've got barbarian monsters on the other side, so we're here to support Israel.
It's really interesting when you look at how strong the Israeli military is right now. They're completely dominating Hamas and any resistance that they are bringing. It's like they really don't need a whole lot of help doing that. Extra military resources. Obviously, the U.S. government is ready to help them, but boy, they got a strong military.
But there's anti-Semitism in this world. I mean, the fact that people are saying, go Hamas from the river to the sea. So I know you know that, but the point is, Israel's doing the best they can. They do have an incredible army. There's no question there was a huge failure on October 7th. But, the army's strong. I was just there, just got back. The people are strong. They're unified. They realize what they're facing. And there's one Israel.
Yeah, and that's, we're told to protect the Jewish state and protect all of our beloved Jewish friends. What do you think about the turnout today? I
think it's great. I think it's great. Put down your microphone and start marching.
I know that. It was within because it really does funnel everybody in right here.
They've had experience with a couple of rallies here.
Yeah, they have experience. My last question for you. Go ahead. Do you just feel safe walking around D.C.?
I feel safe. I drive around all over Israel. I feel safe. God has a plan. Hopefully he's got me in it.
He's got you in it. You're here today.
That's where I stand. That's where I stand.
That's awesome. Well, God bless you. I appreciate you coming. Thank you so much. Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yeah, we're live on the air right now.
Okay,
this is great.
You know my friend Pastor Hagee?
I don't know Pastor Hagee. I'm sorry.
Head of the Christian Evangelicals.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I appreciate it. Well, go get you a good spot. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, I love it. And it's one of those things when you see the crowd coming in, and I mean, look at that, and it's coming from all angles here, which is incredible. And like they said, they've done a great job of funneling everyone in at certain positions around the mall, and that is to prevent it from really, you control the crowd who comes in here, which is wonderful because they do have security. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
We're live on the air right now. We're just covering the event. What brings you? Where are you from?
I'm from New York City.
Wow, we've got a lot of people from outside the D.C. area, obviously. So, obviously, general question, what brings you down here?
I really just wanted to come out here and support Israel. I feel like it's really important now more than ever.
Okay, are you in school, student, work?
I'm in high school.
What is it like in high school right now for you?
So my school is fairly Jewish. It's not a Jewish school, but we have a lot of Jews. The climate's been pretty good. It's just kind of something that isn't talked about that much.
Yeah. Do you feel safe at your school? Last question. I know you got to go.
For sure.
For sure. There you go. A lot of people feeling safe, which is nice. Thanks for coming out here. God bless the family. Thank you. Thank you very much. So it's interesting because you see so much on the news as far as people not feeling safe. What's going on, guys? Come on in. We're live on the air right now. Yeah, we're live. Okay, I'm going to ask my question. Where are you guys from?
From New York.
There's a lot. not ceasefire, destroy them. Where are you from as well? You were from New York?
Yeah, Brooklyn.
What does it feel like to be on such a beautiful day in our nation's capital? The weather's wonderful. You have all this from the Jewish community, the Christian community like myself, coming out here. You've got to feel a lot of love right now.
I feel a lot of love from all over, from all our nation. We're standing here together, fighting for getting rid of terrorists, Hamas, and we want our hostages back. That's what we want. We bring them home.
Yeah, bring them home. Great. Bring them home. Bring them home. You know, I will say this. I said this earlier a couple of weeks ago in the pro-Palestinian march they had. It was so negative. A lot of screaming, a lot of yelling. Everybody was angry. Look at the love that is here in our nation's capital right here.
Spread love.
That's the difference. We build, they want to destroy. We just want to build. If they want to build, the Palestinians want to build, we can build with them. But we can't build with people who want to destroy us. That's the only difference.
That's it. I mean, we've been here 25 minutes, and I'm like, there's more love here than they ever had back when they were here.
Free Palestine from the Hamas.
From the Hamas. Great. Thank you so much.
Please honor this family taken from Kibbutz Be'eri.
We can have people spread this around the country. We've seen the video of people ripping down these signs. Just a horrible thing.
Thank you so much, and please, we can never forget about them, and we have to keep shouting and telling the world to release them. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. God bless. Well, we're live right now. We have an app. Go to RSBN. Go on your Google or your Android, your Apple. Download our app, RSBN. You'll see it on there. All right. Thank you.
And supporting us. It means so much because we stand for the truth, we stand for peace, and we want everyone to be happy. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I just love talking to, hey, how you doing? Yeah. See, everyone's, it's interesting because we were here when the pro-Palestinian march was going on, and it was nothing but, and I clipped some portions of it, a scream fest. Everyone was so angry and yelling and screaming, and it seems like that is such a different tone and feeling here at our National Mall. Hey, if you're just now joining us, 12:50 here live on our National Mall here, and we'll turn around and flip you. I show the Capitol if you just want to know what that looks like. If you've been here before and you want to kind of know where we're positioned, that is it. We're on 7th here, cutting across the National Mall, and we've got, I would say, tens and tens of thousands. I mean, I don't really, at this point, know how to estimate the crowd. I know we've seen crowds that have been reported, 40 to 50,000 people, and I definitely think that's going to happen. But first, before we go on and talk about some more of the events today, I'll talk about our good friends over at MyPillow. I have talked to Mike Lindell just a couple months ago, and he talked about the fact that his credit lines have been really pinched, and he hasn't been able to order certain things, or even threatens his payroll. Right now, Christmas coming up, shopping, we got Black Friday just about a little more than a week away. Do your part. Go to mypillow.com/RSBN, mypillow.com/RSBN, and shop there on the website. Not only are you helping out a great patriot, Mike Lindell, and you're helping this cash flow, you're getting some great products, and you can't beat that as well. Plus, transparency. A little bit of those portions of the proceeds come back to us at Right Side, so we certainly appreciate that as well. So go check it out, mypillow.com. Wonderful way. You've got a ton of stuff on sale right now. You get up to 80% off on certain items. There's a clearance section as well. Go out there, take advantage of his great sale. Do some stocking stuffers, things like that. Just get ahead of the Christmas season. mypillow.com/RSBN. All right, we can see lots of. How you doing? Good. What brings you here today?
A whole mixture of emotions. We have a lot of family, and we have extended family, and millions of people are our family. And what's happening in this country and what's happening in Israel, both of them feel threatened on both sides, but at the same time, there's a huge power in being together with Jewish friends, with Christian friends, and we're really here to come here today and to say that we are not going to take it lying down.
Where are you from?
I am from New Jersey.
A lot of people from New York, New Jersey came down here.
A lot of people came from a lot of places. I just met people who came from Las Vegas, Christian group that came from Las Vegas and Philadelphia. We have met people from Baltimore to Rhode Island to Massachusetts to LA, to my son came here from Atlanta, and really glad to be here together with a lot of nice people.
God bless you. Thanks for coming out here. I appreciate it. There you go. A lot of the sentiment here is everyone is so blessed to be here and be able to spread the message. And, you know, it's not about fighting the Palestinian people. It's about fighting Hamas. And they have, I would say, hijacked that country for some time now and has basically formed such a dictatorship in that country. A lot of chanting going on up there. We'll see if we can a little bit later get you closer. We are going to cut to that program. Whenever that happens, we'll make sure we go to the program and start that. Also, we talk about our friends over at Tax Network USA. If you missed that deadline of October 15th, do not worry. Don't worry. Our friends over at Tax Network USA want to help. Whether or not you owe $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, whether or not you hadn't paid your taxes in 10 years, it doesn't matter. They can help you. So please go over to Tax Network USA. The information for that is on your screen. Get rid of all the guilt, get rid of all the anxiety, and just free your mind and also probably save some tax, save the money overall what you pay in taxes. Go check them out over at Tax Network USA. I have probably been out here covering events, all kinds of stuff, pro-life events, Second Amendment. How you doing? Come on through here. What's your name? Where are you guys from?
This is Leora. I'm Danny. We're from New Jersey, my friend.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
God bless you guys.
Four cousins were killed the first day. Yeah. The first day. In Kfar Aza. Just so you know.
Yeah. Now, so obviously this is very personal for you to be out here tonight.
Very personal.
Yeah. Well, do you have any other family over there right now?
Yes.
Loaded.
Lots of family. Lots of family. We're standing here for them today.
Yeah. Our friend's son was killed up north. And my cousin's good friend's son was killed in the tunnel.
Horrible stories, man.
What does it mean to you to see all these people out here in solidarity to Israel and Christians alike?
Unity, pride, strength. Strength. That's the main thing, mate.
These people know what the right is, and Hamas is not right.
ISIS, Hamas the same thing. Hamas is ISIS.
They're savages.
Well, God bless you guys, and I'm sorry for all your loss. We'll be praying for you and your family.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. God bless. Tell you, stories like that really makes it real of why these people are here. Obviously, it's nice you see people want to come out and support, but when you have it very specific to that, it makes it real. How you guys doing? We're live on the air, Right Side Broadcasting Network. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but obviously you guys are out. It's Father Sunday,
yes, it is.
Nation's capital.
Yes. Yeah. We're excited to be here. And when I see everyone saying free Palestine, what I think they really mean to say is free Palestine from Hamas. That's what they want to say, but they can't say that.
Why do you think our elected leaders have such a resistance from speaking out against Hamas? I know Rashida Tlaib, she's been asked dozens of times. Matter of fact, the censor on her barely passed here last week. Why can't people speak out against Hamas like they should?
I don't know. I think it boils down to the I don't say anti-Semitism, but the hatred of the Jewish people. And that's why we're all here to show the world that we're standing as one. And I think that's the core. It's always been the core for thousands of years.
As a young person there, what does it mean to you to be out here? There's a lot of kids your age I've seen walking around.
It's amazing. Yeah.
You feel loved and safe that you're in this community, that we're all with you and praying, right?
Yes, yeah, it's amazing.
You guys, where are you guys from?
From Baltimore.
Baltimore, okay. You didn't too much of a drive down here. But I was just saying before you guys walked up, we've covered all kinds of rallies and marches here, pro-life marches, everything. This, in my opinion, is one of the biggest turnouts I've ever seen in our nation's capital.
Yeah, I mean, really, there have been people busing in from New York, planes flying in from the entire United States. I'm seeing T-shirts from Minnesota, Rhode Island, everywhere. So it really, and it's been endorsed by all the Jewish organizations, all the rabbis of the United States and then of Israel. So I think everyone who's here is very proud and happy to be here.
One of Main synagogues in the Dallas area. I was just at the gym last night, and they said, hey, or yesterday afternoon, they said, hey, we've got a lot of friends from Texas coming here, and I thought it was just a beautiful thing that everyone comes together to support Israel. So, all right, well, you guys got a full day up there. Thanks so much. Be careful driving back to Baltimore. Thank you. There. No, well, we're right side. I do know who he is. Yes. Marsha said hello. He might be watching us right now. Marsha said hello. How you guys doing? We're live on the air right now, just talking to people about being out here and showing support for Israel.
Well, thank you. We're from Sarasota, Florida.
So we've got people from all over the country here. Now, obviously, we know, obviously your sign says it all, but really, what brings you here today?
Well, to show our unity with the Jewish people and to show hope and to be together.
Elderly couple that had lost all kinds of family members during the first day, and it just really hit home for me for a second, because you see the images, you hear the stories on TV, but when you meet such a sweet old couple, it really does mean a lot. But what's your thoughts on the turnout today? It's just massive.
It feels wonderful to be with our people in a small group, large group. At this point, at this time, it's really important to even see other groups supporting us. Look, Christians stand with Israel. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. As a Christian here, I stand with Israel, and that's why we're here.
So many people supporting Israel and the Jewish people.
Yeah. And of course, we were talking earlier about the military is one of the strongest in the world. They are taking care of Hamas right now, without a doubt, by themselves. But we do have a nice allegiance that the United States backs Israel. We just passed $2.8 billion. There's even more. There's $14.2 billion that's still waiting in the Senate. So if we can get the people in the Senate to get off their butts and pass that, we can actually get more money to support Israel. So
security of Israel means the security of the Western world, and people have to wake up and understand, if we don't have Israel right now, that little tiny piece of land in peace and protected, we will be suffering here on this side of the world.
Think about all the misinformation that these college kids, all these students that are just so misguided, and they're so off drifting around. All of a sudden, next thing you know, they're for pro-Hamas in a way. What's your thoughts? I don't know if you have any young people or any kids your age or kids in college that age.
Yeah, we do have young people from our community that flew up with us today. They took the day off from school. And to those who are listening to the messages from Hamas, I would hope that they would consider other sources of information. Don't pay attention to everything you see on social media.
Do not get your degree from University of TikTok. That is not going to tell you exactly the right place in history. Well, thank you so much. God bless you guys. Be careful going back to Sarasota, Florida. Be careful going back there and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much. There we go. Nice group of people here as we are in our nation's capital. Now, look at the top of the hour. The program is slated to start at 1. We'll do that here in just a second, but I want to talk about our friends over at the Birch Gold Group. Now, we've got this government shutdown, which in my opinion could happen, and if it does happen, it could have some serious ramifications on your savings. That's for our friend over the Birch Gold Group, the experts, gold, silver, and precious metals, wants to protect your savings. You can do that with a gold-backed IRA. Simply text the words Trump to 989898. That's Trump to 989898. And get that free information kit. You might even qualify, sorry about that, for $10,000 in free gold. That's right. They'll show you how to convert from a traditional IRA to a gold-backed IRA. You can do that. The information's on your screen. Go check it out before we cut to the program and all of that. I want to make sure you have a chance to take advantage of some of these offers. So go check it out. The Birch Gold Group. I'm going to say it over and over and over again. I just cannot believe how many people are here right now. We have had so many events we've covered in D.C., even some of the marches after the election with President Trump. We've seen massive amounts of people here. This is incredible, the amount of people that are here today. I cannot believe the turnout, but then again, we couldn't ask for better weather for that as well. And all people from all over the country, not just the D.C. area, obviously, but we've got people from Florida, we got Vegas, we had Los Angeles mentioned earlier, and not just the Jewish community. We've got people from all walks of life, and I just think it's wonderful. Hey guys, we're live on the air, just talking about being here and supporting Israel.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Where are you guys from?
I'm from Detroit.
Oh, you're from Detroit, so the Detroit's on the board. We hadn't had Detroit yet. Yeah, it's great. So I was just going to say, it's a massive turnout today. Does it surprise you that this many people have come together to support Israel?
Honestly, no. The media would have you to think that, people don't stand up for one another and people don't love one another, but we're here to show love. All people you see here are here to show love for their fellow man.
It's really different because I was saying earlier, the pro-Palestinian marches that were 2 weeks ago, it seemed like everyone was so angry. There was a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling, a lot of anger. This has a lot of love, and people from all walks of life. I'm a Christian, and we're all from all over the country, live age-wise. We're here. I know you heard the shirt, right? It just is, what a great experience.
This is beautiful. Anytime we get together to show love, especially when people are hurting and need help, that's the time that we need to show love the most.
Yeah. Here we go. Thank you. That's well said. Nice pants, by the way. I like those. I like those. I don't know if I can pull those off. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. God bless. We're live on the air right now.
Nice
Brian Glenn, Right Side Broadcasting Network.
I'm running for Congress in New York 3rd.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about New York 3rd. Who's in there? And I'm not familiar with that seat. Who's in that seat right now?
Right now it's George Santos. Have you heard of him?
Of course. he barely made from being expelled from Congress. Right. So let me ask you a question, because I'm just going to give you a little bit of opportunity. Why are you a better replacement than George Santos?
Well, first of all, the most important thing that we have to do right now is maintain the majority of the Republicans in the House, right? I'm running as a Republican, of course. So the way to do that is that the way we won last time is through New York, and specifically we went through Long Island. New York 3rd, it has to stay red in Republican hands in order for us to maintain that for the longest amount of time.
Yeah, so that was one of my things I was against eliminating him from Congress. Like you said, we need to keep the majority. Exactly. Now, if that needs to be challenged in the primary, then that's open game. I'm willing to entertain that. But so is it what policy-wise? What's the difference between you and what George Santos stands for? I mean, is there any big issues that maybe you have a different stance than he does?
Well, there's very important that we maintain the illegal immigration in the country. We have to secure our borders. It's a good thing that we're a country with open heart and we should accept asylum seekers, but we have to do it in a way that's a secure border. We have to end catch and release. We have to hire more judges on the border, and that's the way to do it. I don't think that George Santos was strong enough on those issues. I think I'm stronger on these. It's something that we saw in Queens a lot. We're seeing how the quality of life and the illegal immigration is affecting our communities completely in that area. So I believe that. And also another thing that I'm different from him, I tell the truth. I think that's kind of important. I am Jewish. I am Israeli. I could speak Hebrew, and in my 23andMe also says I'm an Ashkenazi Jewish. So I think that's important that we have politicians who actually say what they mean.
Okay. Hey, as a website for you, for people for more information, if they live in New York 3rd.
NorbertForCongress.com. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. You're born to run for office. When we go to CPAC and people come up to me and they say, "This is what I'm running for," we give everybody equal opportunity. Absolutely. That's fine. That's why you got some nice posters. I don't know how I would hold the sign, but I want to show these signs. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Mia. I'm from Montreal, Canada. And I work for this organization called Soldiers Save Lives that was started when a close friend died on October 7th. And in his name, his group of friends in Israel started an organization that sends gear directly to soldiers in the IDF.
Wonderful. Okay, let's show the signs real quick, and I got to go to the program there. Soldiers are in Gaza. Let's get them gear. And that's the QR code, okay?
And the whole tagline of our organization, sorry, I'm going to find you one. Okay. Anyway.
Sure, you were so excited.
I know. The whole tagline of our organization is let's do something, because I think a lot of people in America feel helpless and they feel like there's nothing they could do to support the war and to support our brothers and sisters that are fighting in Israel. So we want to give them that opportunity and show them that there is something you could do from afar.
Okay, best website for people with more information or social media site?
www.soldiersavelives.org.
There you go. I gave you a chance to get that message out. All right, we're going to turn it over to the main stage. We're going to continue to walk around here as we are live here in our nation's capital. We'll take it away to the main stage.
Somewhere in Gaza. We stand here together as the yahrzeit candles for over 1,400 slaughtered in the sovereign state of Israel only because they were Jews. Sound familiar? We know that to lose a life is to lose a universe. And as we stand shoulder to shoulder, we transform thousands of our yahrzeit candles into one supernova of light and hope, illuminating the memories of those we have lost and shedding light on the murderers who brought them to their death. We stand here firm against global anti-Semitism. We stand here firm in confrontation of anti-Semitism here in these United States. We stand here to say enough. Maspek, speak. Our hearts also go out to the Palestinian people who have been used by and suffered at the hands of Hamas to further Hamas's savage agenda. We are now engaged in a battle reaching beyond any Arab-Israeli conflict. We are engaged in a battle fighting for a civilized world. We stand here knowing that the halls of our universities should be havens of enlightenment and moral clarity, and not places where Jewish students, Jewish faculty, or any minority feels outcast and afraid of being physically abused. We know college and university presidents, and a righteous one is here today from Dillard, but we know the college and university presidents, if you remain weak, if you remain silent, you are complicit. As Einstein said, the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them and do nothing. However, since October 7th, amidst the darkness, we've seen glimmers of light. World landmarks lit up in blue and white from New York to Miami, from Paris to Prague and Baku, showing our beloved and brave Israel that she does not stand alone. As Golda Meir, the most important person I've ever had the honor to play, wow, I think Golda may be here today. As Prime Minister Golda Meir said, some people love you, and some people love you and show up. You show up, and that makes all the difference. Indeed, the people of Israel live. So breathe with me now and repeat with me 3 times. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Thank you. God bless you.
Please welcome Van Jones.
You look beautiful. You look beautiful. Why am I here? Why am I here? I'm here because the horror and the terror that unfolded in Israel and Palestine have sent shockwaves far beyond their borders that affect and disrupt lives right here in the United States. Now, if you're not Jewish, you may not know this, but since October 7th, there has been literally an explosion of violence against Jewish people, attacks against Jewish people, horrific acts of hatred against Jewish people. The FBI says it's been unprecedented, 400% increase just in the past 3 weeks. If you don't know that, it's because your social media algorithm is not telling you that. And you might want to ask yourself why. But once you know, you cannot be silent. I don't want to be silent because the Jewish community stood with the civil rights movement. It stood with the civil rights movement. Walking arm in arm, facing death, going to jail. The Jewish community stood with the civil rights movement, and I cannot be silent when Jews fall under attack today. I just can't do it. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm here. Now, whatever our different political beliefs and views are about what's happening overseas, you do not have to support all the policies of Israel to support and love and stand with all the people of Israel during a time of profound mourning. During a time of profound mourning. That's why I'm here. Now, like all of us, and as was just said, my heart breaks for all the Israeli children. My heart breaks for all the Palestinian children. And my heart breaks for all of the Jewish American children who are now also living in fear. I pray that every single hostage is released. I pray that. I pray that. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. And I also pray that Hamas ends its reign of terror. I pray that. I pray that. And I have to say, I'm a peace guy. I'm a peace guy. I pray for peace. No more rockets from Gaza and no more bombs falling down on the people of Gaza. God protect the children. God protect the children. Let's end all the horror and all the heartbreak in the Holy Land. Let's end all of it. Let's end all of it. But I'll be honest in closing. When I think about what's happening over there, I don't feel powerful to do something about what's happening over there. What I do feel powerful is to maybe do something about what's happening here. Let's take a stand here against anti-Jewish bigotry. Let's take a stand against Muslim. Let's take a stand here against hatred. Let's take a stand here against hatred of all kinds. I don't want any Jewish mother to be afraid here to drop her baby off at the JCC. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want any Jewish son to be afraid to leave his dorm room and go to the Hillel Center for a meal. I don't want that. I don't want that. And I don't want any rabbi tonight to have to go and buy an extra can of white paint just to be able to paint over a swastika on a synagogue tomorrow morning here in the United States. I don't want that. I don't want that. And I definitely don't want any Jewish daughter, which I just learned, to change her name in her ride-share app because she's afraid for her driver to know that she is Jewish. That should not be happening here. That should not be happening here. So, no matter what happens anyplace else, we can do better here. No more horror there. No more hatred here. You are not alone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll continue. It's live out here at our nation's capital at the National Mall. I've got some friends I just ran into. Where are you guys from?
Houston.
Houston. Oh, up in my neck of the woods. How about you? Same thing, Houston?
Also from Houston.
All right. So what brings you here today?
We're here to support Israel. We're here to make a statement and let everyone know that we want the U.S. to continue to show their support and be on the right side of history.
Now, I don't know who your congressman in your district is. It depends on where you live in Houston.
Al Green.
Okay. Well, here's my next question. Yeah, obviously, I'm not sure how he voted with the additional funding Ukraine.
He was one of the ones that voted against it.
Of course he was. Of course he was.
So we're trying locally. We've had a lot of friends go and make their voices heard, and trying to make sure that he's representing his constituents, who are a lot of Israel supporters and Zionists, and he's on the wrong side of it.
Yeah, how about your school? What's the reaction right now in your school in Houston?
I go to a Jewish school, but I have friends who go to public school. It's been heartbreaking seeing a lot of people who I thought were my friends stand for things that are abhorrent. But at the same time, there are people who have really stood with us as a people, and they're brave, and we're glad for them. And we
glad for them. And of course, a lot of people getting misinformation is what they're doing. A lot of young people get their, education from TikTok, and they see all this stuff that's going on. Okay. Well, we appreciate be safe going back to Houston. Obviously, we're glad you're here, taking the sight and sounds of Washington D.C. It's a great city.
Thank you very much.
God bless. Houston, Texas, my little neighbors right there. I want to talk about our friends over at Tax Network USA. If you owe taxes, we just had that October 15th deadline go by. Don't stress out if you didn't pay for your taxes. And just, hello, how you doing? Good. Fine. All right, well, where you from? We'll get back to that thought in just a second. Okay.
From Israel.
Okay. Why is it so special for you to be here today?
Because we need to stop all the anti-Semitism in the world and support Israel.
At least all your friends that are here, right? There you go. Yeah, it was nice to have all your friends out here, right?
Yes.
To support you as well. Well, thank you so much for coming out here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love all these young people skipping school today, which is good, right? It's okay. If you didn't do that. All right. But if no matter if you owe $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, don't let the stress of not paying your tax bill get you down. Get back in the safe zone there. Go contact our friends. The information for that is on your screen. We've got thousands of trusted viewers that have used them in their tax problems, and they can help you out as well. It's super easy, and they are the professionals in what they do. Go check it out, Tax Network USA. All right, we'll continue to show you, and if you're just now joining us, I am on a 7th Street that cuts across the National Mall here, and they've got the mall. If you've been out to an event here, they've got it fenced out all the way around the mall here. So it does control the access points. So if you are coming out here, just know that you're not going to be able just to walk onto the mall grounds from any direction there. I mean, just anywhere. You have to go where these big white tents are at. And we'll show you what those big white tents look at real quickly. That's what it's going to look like. They've got this around the National Mall to secure, not only who comes in here, but it does give it kind of a central focus here on the ground. So if you are coming out here, just be aware that you're going to have to enter at one of these white tents, as they have this whole area completely sealed off. Some friends here. Can we talk to you guys? We're live on the air right now, obviously. What brings you here today?
I'm here to support my country. Both of my countries.
Yeah, where are you guys from?
I'm originally from Connecticut. I moved to Israel, New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're from New Haven, Connecticut.
When I was 17. And
obviously the events on October 7th are horrific, and it really has shocked the world. What was your first reaction when you saw the news of what had happened?
I was desperate to know if the people that I loved was okay. I heard because my friend's mom came out and she was like, "Don't worry, Adina's okay." And I remember just being like, "Why would I care? Obviously she's okay."
It was a holiday. We didn't have our phones, and we didn't know what happened to our family. My sister's in Israel, so we didn't know if she was safe. She was visiting the South for Shabbat, so we didn't know if she was okay, if she got out. It was just a lot of stress and shock.
Crying, and also it was a happy holiday, so it was just crying and dancing.
Yes.
What does it mean to you to have them out here with you today?
I thank God have 9 children, and I raised my children to believe in God. And, the Jewish nation, we're one people. My father fought in World War II. My grandmother came from Europe, and we love this country, and this is a good country. And we're here because the Jewish nation is one, and we believe in the goodness of the United States. And God is in control of the world. And we're here to show solidarity.
Somebody's signed.
Oh. We're here to show solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Israel and the hostages who are held. And we want them released today.
There you go. Thank you so much for coming out here. God bless. I hope your family remains safe. Thank you so much. That's just, once again, this is personal for so many people. They have experienced someone they know over in Israel that has been a victim of this attack. I do want to pause. If you're looking talk about our friends over the Birch Gold Group. Once again, this government shutdown is likely to happen, perhaps in January, and they're kind of kicking the can down the road. Don't let any of this turmoil that's going on in the markets to affect your retirement plans. You can convert a traditional IRA into a gold-backed IRA, and their experts are standing by to help you. Just simply text the word Trump to 989898 and get that free information. Gold Kit, they'll even tell you if you qualify for $10,000 in free gold, and that's amazing. And so reach out to them in regards to that as well. But go talk to our friends over at the Birch Gold Group. Text the words Trump to 989898, the Birch Gold Group. Once again, they've got the main stage behind us. You saw some previous speakers, some kind of praise and worship music before they came on. We're on 7th Street, so we're kind of in an area that we can kind of easily talk to people coming through here. That's why we're kind of hanging out here, so that we're able to bring you the coverage of the people on the ground here, rather than getting kind of over there. Repeat that in the studio for me one more time. Okay, let's go ahead and toss to the speakers on stage right now. We're live here at our nation's capital. Back to the stage.
Cruel dictatorship of those days. And that's why many people thought that their struggle, our struggle, is doomed. How can few men and women bring down the empire on their own? But the fact is that we never thought that we are alone. We knew that Jewish people and the state of Israel is with us. From the small demonstration initiated by 4 students at Columbia University in 1964 to the massive rally of 250,000 Jews just here in this place in 87, there were 3 generations of world Jewry who fought for our freedom. Many of your grandfathers fought for our freedom. Many of your parents fought for our freedom. Many of you fought for our freedom. And that's what made all the change. So, when in the long years in prison, I was told again and again that I'm alone, that I'm abandoned, that we failed. It was enough for me simply to remember all those faces of Jews from America, from Britain, from Canada, who were coming to us, to Moscow, to support us, to understand that KGB is lying. Because you were bringing so much love and so much strength to us. This picture of one Jewish fighting family was always in my head. And that is why it was so clear that whatever will be my personal fate, the outcome of our struggle can be only our victory. This clearness, that as long as we all stand together and fight together, we will win, is that what gives us hope today in Israel. Because we in Israel go through difficult days. We go from one funeral of the soldier who fell fighting against Hamas yesterday, and another funeral of the family who was tortured and killed 5 weeks ago, but was identified only now. And in between, you go to the family whose children were kidnapped, became hostages. And wherever you go, you hear more and more stories about torture and murder. How you keep going? You keep going by doing it together. When our brave soldiers, real brave soldiers, are fighting, knowing very well that they fight for the future of Israel and Jewish people. when all our country, in solidarity, in mobilization, in devotion, is embracing them, we know we again are one fighting family. Family which is so strong, which has so much love. And you know that there is only one outcome in this battle, our victory. But then we find out that there is another front in this war. And it's not in the tunnels of Gaza, not on the hills of Galil, but in Harvard, in Yale, in Penn, in Columbia, in all those places who are supposed to be the bastions of enlightenment and wisdom. And from these places we hear today the gleeful cheers of those who watched this most barbaric, awful pogrom in modern history and say that is liberation movement. They speak about democracy and they are ready to give away on the most and the only democratic country in the Middle East. They speak about justice, and they are ready to welcome the killers of babies. They speak about feminism, and they are ready to welcome rapists of our girls. And, dear friends, we together will fight against those who try to give legitimacy to Hamas. We'll fight for Israel. We'll fight for every Jew. We'll fight against anti-Semitism. We'll fight for the values and against corruption of those values which are in the center of our Jewish identity and American identity. And now look at those tens of thousands of students who came from Harvard and Yale and New York University and Penn and other places. You're not frightened, you're not silenced. Together we'll win because we are one Jewish family. We defeated Soviet Union, we'll defeat our enemies today. And now I want to introduce two of these younger voices of modern fighting family. Michal Biton and Ariel Mokhtar Zadeh. Please.
Years ago, my family and tens of thousands of Iranian Jews were forced to flee from the country they had called home for generations. In a moment's notice, their world turned upside down. Jewish leaders were falsely accused of espionage and executed in public squares. Jewish schools were targeted and closed. And Jewish families were forced to forfeit their homes and their businesses. 44 years ago, the Islamic Republic waged its war of terror and intimidation against the Iranian Jewish community. On October 7th, they waged that war against the international Jewish community. In the wake of the revolution, my family made the choiceless choice to leave behind everything they knew in pursuit of everything they dreamt could be. That I am standing here before you all today is beyond my parents' wildest dreams. It is also a manifestation of their greatest nightmare, that we still live in a world where Jews can be butchered in broad daylight as the world watches in silence. But my story is not unique. Our stories as Americans and as Jews may be written in different languages, but their arcs are one and the same. Our ancestors risked everything to reestablish themselves in America, a country they dreamed would be free of Jew hatred. Unfortunately, that dream has not yet been realized. However, one thing has changed. We no longer have to make the choiceless choice that our parents and grandparents did. We will not retreat or flee. Their sacrifice demands so much more of us. Thanks to this great nation, we don't have to resort to flight. We can fight with our voices, our votes, and our feet. And we will, because we know that the future of our country and the future of our people are inextricably intertwined. God bless America, and Am Yisrael Chai.
My name is Michal Biton. I stand here as a Latina immigrant and proud American to represent all those who know oppression. I represent my Argentinian community, still haunted by the AMIA bomb that tore us apart, that killed my best friend's father. Its terrorists never brought to justice. I represent my parents-in-law, Egyptian Jews, who fled Nasser's persecution in Egypt as stateless refugees and built new lives here. I represent my Brooklyn neighbors, Syrian Jews who were held as virtual prisoners in Aleppo and in Damascus, stuck for decades behind an iron curtain of hate. I stand here for all of us who remember that in every generation they stand up against us to destroy us. And for all of us who thank God that America and Israel changed the world and became our safe havens. We stand here united, proud, as Americans who are going to fight back against terror, who will fight back against anti-Semitism everywhere, in our streets and in our universities. We stand here in support of Israelis whose fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters and sons and daughters and friends were murdered or taken captive. We stand here in support of our Israeli nation, who has stood up like a nation of lions. A nation of lions. To liberate Israeli and Palestinian children from the nightmare of Hamas. We stand here in the capital of this extraordinary country that has blessed us with freedom our ancestors could never have dreamed of. Here in this promised land that requires each and every one of us to pursue and expand freedom with all of our might. I stand here as a Jewish woman bearing 4,000 years of history from Abraham to my 4-year-old daughter. Proud of our people who will never ever give up hope. Proud of our people who will always seek to partner with others to heal our fractured world. I stand here as an immigrant to this country that I love and call my own, ready to join with anybody who has tasted the opposite of freedom and breathe new life into our great American dream. This is our calling. Our time is now. Our work is urgent. So let us fight with everything we have, with our voices, with our feet, with our votes, with our prayers. Let us fight together against hatred and for life. May the one above bless us with the courage and the strength to write a new chapter of peace and freedom in this nation, in Israel, and around the entire world.
Please welcome the Chair of the Board of Trustees of the Jewish Federations of North America, Julie Platt.
Wow! I'm looking out at over 200,000 gathered here today. Thank you for coming. Today, our thoughts are with the victims and survivors of October 7th, with the innocent Israeli and Palestinians suffering because of Hamas's terror, and with the families with empty seats at the dinner table. Today, our thoughts are with the brave soldiers of Israel's defense forces as they defend the state of Israel and the Jewish people. We thank the lone soldiers serving with such courage and all the families who must display courage every day. We also thank the first responders who have shown such incredible heroism. One of them is here with us today, Yossi Landau, Commander Zakai South. Today, our thoughts are with all the Jews around the world who have been the victims of anti-Semitic hate and violence. Most of all, today, our thoughts are with the Israeli people as they seek peace and security. I now have the tremendous honor of introducing our cherished friend and our collective hero. We know him, we trust him, we admire him, and we are filled with gratitude for his strong leadership. Friends, joining us live from the eternal capital of the state of Israel, Jerusalem, please welcome the President of Israel, Isaac Herzog.
Thank you, Julie. Shalom, friends, sisters and brothers. Achyotai ve'echai. I am speaking to you from the single most sacred site in the Jewish world, the Kotel, the Western Wall in Jerusalem. The Kotel that reminds us that Am Israel, we, the people of Israel, are eternal and no one will break us. From the Jewish symbol of fulfillment of our ancient dreams to the American symbols of freedom, liberty, and democracy. Thank you. Thank you, the hundreds of thousands who've gathered from all over the United States, all people of goodwill, friends from different communities, faiths, and denominations who've gathered today for this massive show of solidarity. in the state of Israel's darkest moment, you stood up and declared, Hineni, I am here. We are here. There's no greater and more just cause than this. Today, we come together as a family, one big mishpacha, to march for Israel, to march for the babies, the boys and girls, women and men viciously held hostage by Hamas, to march for the right of every Jew to live proudly and safely in America, in Israel, and all around the world. Above all, we come together to march for good over evil, for human morality over bloodthirst. We march for light over darkness. "80 years ago, Jews came out of Auschwitz and vowed never again. As the blue and white flag was hoisted over our ancient homeland, we vowed never again. 40 days ago, a terrorist army invaded the sovereign state of Israel and butchered hundreds upon hundreds of Israelis in the largest massacre since the Holocaust. Let us cry out together, never again, never again, never again is now. The Hamas savagery and crimes against humanity bring to my mind, as President Biden has said, the worst rampages of ISIS. We, the people of Israel, are grateful to President Biden, his administration, and so many members of Congress on both sides of the aisle. The moral clarity and bold actions of our American allies demonstrate the depth of the U.S.-Israel alliance, which is stronger than ever before. Since October 7th, Israeli society and the Jewish people have truly come together in unison. We feel our hearts beat as one. We hear our brothers and sisters' blood crying out to us from the ground, Kol dmei achicha tzoakim elai min ha'adama. Once again in Jewish history, we demand, let our people go. Whilst our loved ones are held captive in Gaza and our soldiers are fighting for our beloved Israel, Jews all over the world are assaulted for being Jewish. The hatred, the lies, the brutality, the disgraceful outbursts of ancient anti-Semitism are an embarrassment to all civilized people and nations. Jews in America must be safe. Jews all over the world must be safe. I salute you, the women and men who stand up to massive hatred and pressure in the community or on campus. Just as you stand with us, we stand with you. Dear brothers and sisters, dear friends, as President of the State of Israel, Medinat Israel, I vow to you from Jerusalem, from the Kotel, that we will heal, we will rise again, and we will rebuild. To paraphrase the prophet Zechariah, boys and girls shall once again play in the streets of Be'eri and Sderot, and the elderly shall sit peacefully by the walkways of Nachal Oz and Ofakim. And when the sounds of life and laughter return to the villages, the kibbutzim, and the cities, our constant yearning for peace will return as well. Together we pray for the safe return of our hostages. Together, we pray for the full recovery of the wounded. And together we pray for our beloved sons and daughters in the IDF. May God bless them and keep them. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yishmor v'yatzil et chayaleinu. Together we grieve, and together we shall overcome. Am Yisrael Chai. God bless Israel. God bless America.
All right, live look at here at the National Mall. We're on 7th Street here, where this is where all the people are making their way towards the stage. We're going to talk to them here in just a minute, but I want to talk about our good friends over at MyPillow.com. You know, if you're looking for some ideas for the holidays, go shopping, get ahead of that Black Friday rush. Our friends at MyPillow want to do just that. Go to MyPillow.com/RSBN. You'll get not only some great products that are made right here in the USA, you're also going to save some money as well. So you're up to 80% off. Just make sure you go to MyPillow.com/RSBN. And of course, I was able to talk to Mike Lindell a couple months ago. The problems that he's having with extended credit to him to pay for certain things has really put him in a bind. Cash flow is struggling. So what we can do right now is, support him. So go to MyPillow.com/RSBN, and a portion of those proceeds goes right back here to Right Side Broadcasting Network. So go check it out, our friends over at MyPillow. Okay, so we're on 7th Street now. If we can rotate the camera, I'll show you. That is the look towards the Capitol. So the National Mall goes straight towards that way. And obviously that's where the stage is set up. They've got these huge areas that are split off. And this is kind of a great place for us to post up here because you've got a little bit more space to talk to people. But let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of events here. I was talking to somebody off camera. They have never seen this many people together at the National Mall since, wait for it, 2016 inauguration of President Donald J. Trump. They say more, but that is the presidential inauguration. So outside that, a massive crowd here. People from all across the country. You've had Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Sarasota, Florida, Michigan, New York, Baltimore, Chicago, Texas. They're here to support Israel and support the efforts there to defend Israel. They want to also help those that are still looking for missing loved ones, friends, family, the people that have been kidnapped. Hundreds of Israeli people kidnapped since that attack on October the 7th. So obviously this is kind of what you get. We're live on the air just talking to people. Obviously, what brings you out here today? Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey. We want them to bring them home. We want to bring them home.
And it's important for you and your family and friends to come out and hear. So what do you think about this massive crowd? I had said earlier before you guys walked up, this is one of the largest crowds I've ever seen in our nation's capital for an event outside of a presidential inauguration, which is massive. What does it mean? What's that? I've heard in between like 40, 50,000 people expect it. Now, right now, I think it might be getting close to that. There's a lot of people here. But what does it mean to you to be out here, obviously, in support of those that were kidnapped, those that lost their lives, but also with people from all faiths? We got a lot of Christian communities out here as well.
It just means so much that so many people out here supporting Israel, fighting against anti-Semitism, and just to see so many people that have come from all over to do that, it just touches my heart.
We're not alone in this fight.
You've got, I don't know, is there a personal connection with this individual here?
Not this one. I don't know any hostages, but I do have friends in the Army, and, praying for them every day just for a safe
return back to Israel. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen images on social media of those that are ripping down posters like this across many cities. And I just saw in Brooklyn, New York, this guy had enough of it, and he basically went up there and said, no, you're not going to rip these posters down, and push back. You saw that. I think more people need to be like him to prevent people from doing stuff like that. I don't know what it's like in your neighborhood, but it wouldn't happen around my neighborhood.
I haven't seen too much in my neighborhood at all, but I would like to think that people would go ahead and rip it down as well. Yeah.
All right, so
this is really comforting. It's very comforting knowing all of these people were all one voice.
And we're all safe right here as well. I love the way they've barricaded the mall off to make us all feel like there's no agitators that are going to come in.
From everywhere to be here. I've been taking pictures of from Buffalo, Miami, Canada, everywhere. They're just flying in left and right to be here just to support us.
But back there, it's packed. If you don't have a blue wristband, you can't get in here. So on the other side of the barrier, it's just packed back there.
It's amazing. I know that I don't even know how you get to the front. It's crazy how far it is, but you'll get there in a couple days hike, I would imagine. But thank you for coming out here. Appreciate. God bless, and just keep praying for our friends in Israel. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. That's what we're here for. Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So we're live on the air. How you doing? Good. We're live on the air right now.
Thank you. I appreciate. Look, today it's important that we're all standing with Israel on many fronts. There's the physical front where the soldiers have to do. I have a nephew today inside of Gaza Strip finding and searching for the hostages, bringing them back home, finding the tunnels and fighting against this enemy that we have. And there's also a spiritual battle. Every good deed, every mitzvah, holy act that we do makes a huge impact, and we believe brings it back. And we thank all of our friends all over the world for standing with us and standing tight with us.
Well, thank you for being here today. God bless you. Appreciate it. We're going to toss it back to the stage. They got a speaker. We're live here at our nation's capital. Back to the stage.
We march against anti-Semitism. And as a mother and ordinary citizen, we march for the hostages to be freed. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Scroll. We stand here in a city often divided along partisan lines, but not when it comes to Israel. Democrats and Republicans alike are standing up and speaking out, decrying anti-Semitism, demanding an end to Hamas's reign of terror, and supporting the Israeli people as they seek peace, justice, and the safe return of our hostages. Later today, we'll hear from congressional leaders in both parties who have come to show their support. They are true friends of Israel. And we have another true friend of Israel living up at the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue. President Joe Biden has been a steadfast ally and champion of our shared values. The president's visit of condolence and friendship to Israel after October 7th moved Israelis to the core. We are grateful for his leadership. And now I am honored to introduce his special envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism, the wonderful Ambassador Deborah Lipstadt.
ועדיין לא מצאתי איך לומר שאת נהר מים מתוקים במלח המדבר. בטח תחשבי שזה מוזר.
230 years ago, President George Washington reassured the Jews of Newport that our new nation would give bigotry no sanction and persecution no assistance. His meaning and his message were quite specific. In the United States of America, the bigotry of anti-Semitism must have no place, no quarter, no haven, no home. Anti-Semitism, or more explicitly, Jew hatred, the world's longest, oldest form of prejudice, has pierced and permeated too many countries, too many cultures, faiths, communities. It comes at us from all political, religious, and cultural directions. Groups that agree on nothing else agree on their suspicion and hatred of Jews. And if we needed any reminder about the validity of that claim, the past 5 weeks have made it plain. So today, as a representative of President Biden and Vice President Harris and the United States government, I can tell you without hesitation, regardless of party or political persuasion, at the White House or in the Congress, at home and abroad, this government stands shoulder to shoulder against Jew hatred. We stand arm in arm to combat anti-Semitism, wherever it hides or attempts to reside. We echo our founding father unequivocally and unreservedly. Today in America, we give anti-Semitism no sanction, no foothold, no tolerance, not on campus, not in grade school, not in our neighborhoods, not in our streets of our cities, not in our government, nowhere, not now, not ever. The reason is simple. Anti-Semitism is wrong. It is hateful. It is an immediate threat to Jews everywhere, and that alone would be sufficient reason to combat it. But anti-Semitism is far more than just that. It is an affront to the integrity of our laws. It is a gateway to prejudice, racism, injustice of every form. It is a direct danger to our democracy. And we, the United States government, will fight it. Full stop. I have the honor and responsibility to travel the world, to wage this fight in foreign lands. And in the past 5 weeks, I have visited many of our major European allies. And the message I deliver and the message I hear everywhere is unmistakable. No sanction for anti-Semitism. When Holocaust memorials are vandalized in Canada, France, Greece, Denmark, or the United States, when Molotov cocktails are thrown at synagogues in Berlin and Montreal, when Jews peacefully protesting are physically or verbally intimidated, when Jewish children are harassed, when protesters chant, "Gas the Jews," when Jewish stars are painted on buildings housing Jews, that is not expressing support for Palestinian rights. That is Jew hatred, pure and simple. We must not be blind to the hate implicit in the widespread celebrations of Hamas's October 7th killing spree. When protesters chant peace and glory to the martyrs, that incites more hatred, more deaths. It is a danger to the values and underpinning of the stability and decency of any society anywhere in the world. Hate is not a zero-sum game. Hate and violence directed at any member of our society because of who they are is un-American and wrong. Thankfully, countries once beset by anti-Semitism are acting to counter it. Our major European allies have deployed legions of police officers to protect Jewish institutions. But there are some countries that are spreading and fostering hatred of Jews. The world must unite to condemn and combat it. Today, gathered before me on this mall are people of all faiths, beliefs, identities, and backgrounds. You are united by your abhorrence of Jew hatred and your recognition of its lethal nature. We are grateful for the myriad of law enforcement personnel who protect us, and please remember to thank them. But the fact is that no group of Americans should have to live that way. They should live free, in need of no protection, unflinching and unafraid. Let me be clear. Do not sink to the level of those who harass you. Do not tear down posters. Do not intimidate those who disagree with you. Do not block their path or taunt them as they do to you. But do not cower. Allow no one to make you afraid. The message is built into the Jewish people's most ancient history. Jews are strongest at their broken places. Know that this nation's leaders are determined to oppose anti-Semitism at every turn. They are by your side now and long into the future. The fight will be a long one, but Jews have faced such challenges before and have overcome them. You who hate this evil will prevail, because this cause has justice wholly on its side. The fight will be won because there is no other option. And because, as President Washington reassured the Jews of Newport, this nation gives bigotry no sanction. And 230 years later, that still holds true. Chazak ve'ematz. Chazak ve'ematz, be strong and of good courage. Thank you for that strength. Thank you for that courage. Thank you.
Please welcome back to the stage Harriet Schleifer and Julie Platt.
We are pleased to welcome to the stage the bipartisan, bicameral leaders.
Guys, we are live back in here on the National Mall area. We're on 7th Street, which cuts through here. We'll get back to the speakers here in just a moment, but I want to talk about our friends over at the Birch Gold Group. Now, we talk about this government shutdown that's looming. In my, I guess, educated guess, I think it's going to happen in January, but I want you guys to feel safe and secure with your investments. That's our friends over at the Birch Gold Group, the experts, gold, silver, precious metals. Want to make it really easy for you to invest in gold, silver, and precious metals. Simply text the words Trump to 989898. That is Trump to 98988. Get that free information kit. Make the decision for you. They'll teach you how to do what's considered a traditional IRA into a gold-backed IRA. That's our friends over at the Birch Gold Group. We'll get to the speakers here in just a second. I had a group of kids here from New Jersey. A lot of kids from New Jersey came here today. A lot of people from New York. I was told off camera that New York City, outside of Israel, has the highest population for the Jewish community. So hence why there's so many people from New York have come down here. It's just a couple really hours by train or cars. So big indicator. Now let me kind of show you what's going on right now. Obviously you've been looking at the stage area. There's two separate video screens on either side of the lawn here. So that's where a lot of these people have stopped to watch the speeches on stage on both sides. And from what I understand, depending on the wristband that you have, you can only go so far. From what I've been told, and from what you see the two white tents, it goes all the way back there is solid, and then even going forward towards the Capitol, it's packed all the way towards the stage. So just a massive, massive turnout here, which has turned out to be a beautiful day. I know that it's been cold and kind of the weather's been kind of sketchy the last couple of days, I guess, in this region. But what a beautiful day we have for the turnout. And of course, we've been talking to people all across the country. They're from just about every state, from north, south, east, west. Not just Jewish. A lot of Christian community has come out to support our friends in the Jewish community. So really a collective effort by all to make sure that we show solidarity with the nation of Israel and to call out Hamas and call out the terrorists. And actually, we talked, it's funny how we really haven't talked political talk at all here. No political discussion going on, but it is interesting how many in the Democrat Party have refused to denounce Hamas and refused to basically, speak out about the violence towards Israel. And we have not seen that from people in our party, in the Democrat Party, rather. We have seen, obviously, many people in the Republican side come together. And like we just saw recently, the censor for Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib about her rhetoric towards not only the United States, but the nation of Israel. So this is very different. I know I was in the area when the pro-Palestinian march happened a couple weeks ago. I've said this earlier. I said it earlier in the show. The mood, the anger that was at that rally was something that I've not witnessed in a long, long time. It actually equaled something you would see on the pro-choice side. Very angry individuals. Every speaker would come up there and literally scream and chant and shout, and that was the way they really tried to energize their supporters there. That's a different scene here. This is a little bit more collective. Obviously, it's filled with much more love and much more understanding in a way that they have all put their trust in God, and it just has more of a peaceful tone about it rather than such an angry, aggressive tone that we got out of the pro-Palestinian. Now, this is a march. It says march for support of Israel, but there is no technical march there. They've got this whole area has been gated off and for security purposes, and you can only get in through the white tents that are either on these four cordons of the lawn here. So they do have a controlled access, but they're not going to leave here and go march anywhere in D.C. So if you're thinking, if you live in the area and you're a little concerned about maybe, well, are they all going to leave here and go somewhere? That's not going to happen. There is not a march for that. So there we go. Beautiful shot there of our nation's capital. The stage set up. We'll turn it back to the speakers as we are live here at the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
About the brutality of Hamas, and the five of us, Democratic and Republican senators, wept and cried for a whole hour. The sadness was so great, the evil so horrible. We will continue fighting for the release of all hostages till they return to safety. Let them go. Let them go. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Like so many Jewish people, the horrors of October 7th reminded me of what happened to my ancestors in Western Ukraine when the Nazis invaded. So the minute I heard of what happened in January 7th, I knew I had to go to Israel. As the first-ranking Jewish Senate Majority Leader, in fact, the highest-ranking Jewish elected official in American history, I not only had a desire to go to Israel.
All right, guys, we're live back out here on 7th Street. I want to talk to a couple students. I believe you're from New Jersey. Is that right?
Yes.
Right. So what does it mean to you to come to our nation's capital on a day like today and see so much support for Israel?
It means a lot. Like, this is really hard times that we're in, and for everyone to come from all over. People have come from Florida, Canada, everywhere, to all come here and gather together as one. It shows that, like, this is something really important to us.
Yeah, it's really nice that everybody from different communities, different schools, we're all coming into one place and uniting and showing our support for Israel. We really appreciate it.
Do you have friends or family or relatives that have experienced a lot of hate towards them for being Jewish, or showing support for Israel? Because I know on social media it seems like it's very convenient. It's publicly hip to be so pro-Palestinian ceasefire. But have you had friends and family that have seen a lot of hate towards the Jewish community?
I mean, I don't really know. I have a lot of family in Israel, so definitely have them in mind. And we're always trying to get our message out that, like, we're not going anywhere. Like, the Jewish people, like, Israel is our home.
Staying strong.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very lucky I haven't experienced anything personally, but the hate is definitely out there, and we have to do our best to stop it.
And we see it on social media. We see it all over our feed. We see pro-Palestine stuff, but we just have to do our best to ignore that.
That's the thing that I was trying to get across, is the kids right now see so much of the other side of things that it seems like we're in the minority to basically support Israel. And I'm glad that you guys are out here. And there's a lot of students. I mean, I know you have a big group. How many students are with you guys from New Jersey?
From New Jersey?
Yeah.
I mean, from our school?
I'd say 1,200, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Massive school. Well, we appreciate your time. Enjoy yourself and be safe. And we'll keep praying for our friends in Israel. We'll pray for you guys as well. Thank you very much. All right, how you doing? What's up? Hang on, I asked the questions here. What's your name? Where you from?
Steven Sardar, Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, what brings you here today, Steven?
I mean, look, I have family in Israel. My mother's from Israel. And, you know, I really think that Israel is an integral part of Jewish foundation. You know, I said this to another interviewer. Look, in another time of disparity, should we ever, God forbid, face one, the government of Germany isn't going to be there for us. The government of Poland isn't going to be there for us. The Palestinian government is not going to be there for us. So, you know, in essence, what I'm saying is that the only people who stand for the Jewish people are the people of Israel, the nation of Israel. It's the foundation to safety and security, and after all, it is a Jewish homeland.
So you got a lot of friends here as well? You guys are coming, your buddies? Brooklyn, New York? Yeah.
Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah. What does it mean to you guys to be here as well?
You know, it's big. I mean, you know, everything that's going on.
You got to support your home, you know, wherever you live. This is a Jewish state, and it has to be like this, you know.
What was it like for you guys walking into this area here?
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it is a lot.
It's a lot of people. Look at this.
Yeah, massive. Have you seen this many people turn out at an event like this before?
No, never.
Not like this before.
Honestly,
I don't see the value in, you know, these gatherings typically. However, this might be the turning factor in my mindset.
I'm with you on that, and I know I was here a couple weeks ago when they had the pro-Palestinian. I was out through an office complex. It wasn't 1% of the turnout you have here. Like, this is massive.
It's massive. Look at all these people. Yeah. And not a single, like, you don't even see, like, anyone fighting against it. It's
from all walks of life too. I'm a Christian from Texas, and I'm here. You know, yeah. But we're all here. So I appreciate you guys' time. Be safe. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Good interview there. He walks up. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna ask some questions." Like, no, I asked the questions here. This is great. And if you're just now joining us, welcome. We're right here on 7th as it cuts through the mall. Let me see who's up on stage right now. I tell you what, you want to toss it back to the stage? Let's check in with this guy. We can do that. Find out. We are live here on our nation's capital at the mall. We'll go back to the stage and we'll come back here in a few.
Isn't just confined to Gaza, as you know. The war in Israel has awakened an alarming amount of anti-Semitism towards Jewish people here in the United States and across the globe. From the halls of Congress to college campuses, this rise of anti-Semitism must be stopped. We've heard many echo the Hamas rallying cry of "from the river to the sea," and I'm convinced that a lot of these college students that are engaging in these protests do not understand that is an explicit call for the extermination of Israel. It is happening daily in our country, as you know, and it is unacceptable for Jewish Americans to feel unsafe at home. It is unacceptable for Jewish businesses to face violence, vandalism, and threats. It is unacceptable for universities to allow Hamas apologists to assault and accost Jewish students on campus. It is unacceptable for any political leader in this nation to give credence to this dangerous rhetoric. We can and we must do more to stand with our great ally and friend. But it is my hope that this gathering today serves as a reminder to the entire world, but also to those within our own borders, that the United States stands proudly with Israel and the Jewish people forever, forever. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this. God bless you.
Leader Schumer, Speaker Johnson, Senator Ernst, all those assembled, shalom. What an honor and a blessing to stand with you in solidarity during this very difficult moment for the Jewish people and for Israel. Hamas brutally attacked Israel on October 7th because Hamas wants to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. So let me be clear. We will never let that happen. Congress will continue to support in a bipartisan way the state of Israel and Israel's unequivocal right to exist as a Jewish and democratic state always and forever. Always and forever. Always and forever. From the very beginning of this conflict, President Joe Biden has strongly supported the state of Israel. And I strongly support President Biden's supplemental funding request for Israel, for Ukraine, and for humanitarian assistance. We must also decisively address the cancer of anti-Semitism with the fierce urgency of now. An attack on any of us is an attack on all of us. And we are going to do everything possible to stop the anti-Semitic attacks against our Jewish brothers and sisters. The United States and Israel have a special relationship. Our commitment to Israel's security is ironclad. And let me be clear, Israel has an absolute right to defend itself against Hamas terror. There's a question on the minds of many of us. Where do we go from here? We must stand with Israel in its effort to decisively defeat Hamas and make sure that this brutal terrorist regime can never rise again. We must make sure that every single hostage is returned home safely. And then we must stand together to secure a just and lasting peace between Israel and the Palestinian people. The special relationship between the United States and Israel is, yes, rooted in our shared values and our shared strategic interests. But the moral case for Israel is anchored in the painful history of the Jewish people. For centuries, Jews have been persecuted, brutalized by anti-Semitism, and violently thrown out of country after country. The Jewish people were violently expelled from Jerusalem by the Roman Empire. The Jewish people were violently expelled from Alexandria. The Jewish people were violently expelled from France. The Jewish people were violently expelled from England. The Jewish people were violently expelled from Spain. The Jewish people were violently expelled from Switzerland. The Jewish people were violently expelled from Portugal. The Jewish people were violently expelled from countries all throughout Europe. The Jewish people were violently expelled from the Middle East. The Jewish people were systematically murdered by the Nazi regime. The Jewish people were violently attacked by Hamas on October 7th, resulting in the largest loss of Jewish life in a single day since the Holocaust. So we are here, more than 100,000 people strong, to unequivocally declare never again. Never again. Never again. The state of Israel must always exist as a safe haven for the Jewish people. And so we stand together with the Jewish community in Israel. We stand together with the Jewish community in America. We stand together with the Jewish community all throughout the world. We stand together in the effort to crush anti-Semitism. We stand together in the effort to crush anti-Jewish hate. We stand together in the effort to bring home the hostages. We stand together in the effort to make sure that America will always be a safe space for the Jewish community in every single zip code. God bless the hostages. God bless Israel. God bless the United States of America.
United States of America, do you stand with Israel? Folks, I am here today as a longtime friend and staunch supporter of our greatest partner in the Middle East, Israel. In December 2014.
We'll get back to the stage here in just a moment. But earlier, I don't know if you guys had a chance to see that, they had an incredible dance going on. I've got it on my video. I'm going to put it up on our Instagram and Twitter here shortly. It's amazing. I don't speak Hebrew. I'm a Christian. English. I don't know what you guys were saying. But let me tell you something. The emotion that I saw going around, everyone smiling and enjoying each other. What was happening, and what were they chanting during that?
Well, we were chanting Am Yisrael Chai, which means the nation of Israel lives. And yeah, we're peaceful people. You know, you could see here the rally. There's no, violence whatsoever. We have American flags as well as Israeli flags. And, we really are peaceful people, and we want to bring our people home, and we want to protect our state and our homeland. And, this is also our homeland as well, and we want to feel safe here as well. And unfortunately, there's a lot going on in the world, and we don't feel safe here. And frankly, we feel safer in Israel, and that's why we need really to protect our state so we don't have another Holocaust.
Yeah, that's amazing that you said you actually feel safer in Israel than they do here, and that's one of the reasons why we're all gathered today, to show solidarity for our brothers and sisters in Israel. So how about you? What is it like where you live now? Have you seen a lot of hate towards your community?
Yeah, we're all from New York, and New York, I think, is one of the epicenters of anti-Semitism, just a boiling pot with all different types of people, and unfortunately it's turning into a city that anything goes. And so we have to come down to D.C. There's a bunch of people that took the I-95 to get down here from Philly, Boston, New York, and it's very important for us Jews to all get together here and show Congress what we're all about, right? It's all about being peaceful.
Yeah, it is about being peaceful, and the tone a couple weeks ago with the pro-Palestinian gathering was angry. It was loud. It was aggressive. They were mad. Here, the exact opposite. It's all about love and brotherhood and supporting one another. You said it takes one person to start that.
It's a big leap of faith. But at the end of the day, 100%. End of the day, to lead on to what they said, we're here to unify people. We're here to just be together, show everyone that no one's alone. We're on every state throughout the U.S., and we're here showing our support for the people in Israel. Those are our brothers and sisters. So if we can do it here and unify us here, we're helping them to be unified there.
Yeah. Were you involved in that dance, going circles round and round?
Yeah, I was involved to an extent. Great energy. Once one person starts it going, everyone follows suit. I just want to bring up one more point that my friend brought up, that you see American flags here. We support America. We love America. This is the greatest country in the world. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech. You go. I see by my office all the time these pro-Palestinian protests. I haven't seen one American flag. I see thousands. I've seen 3-4 protests, not one American flag. We support America. We're here showing our support for America. Hopefully America will return that support towards us. We love America. We love Israel. We love peace. We love humanity. L'chaim.
That might have been the greatest interview we've had all day, and that is a great point. You guys love this country, and you're showing support. He is absolutely correct. There was not one American flag at those rallies, and it really not just here, but anywhere in London, New York, Miami, Chicago, Los Angeles, you name the city, not one flag, American flag, that they fly. And I think it's very important that you say that.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right, so you did the dance. I appreciate you doing the dance.
And another dance going, don't worry. We're going to get another dance going to show the cameras. The cameras are going to see another dance.
So we will, when that happens, just know at home, hang on a second.
Am Yisrael, Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Chai, Am Yisrael, Chai, Am Yisrael, Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, 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 Am Yisra Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu Chai. Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai.
It's all about, right? Bringing everyone
Bringing
together.
the community together. Just bringing the community together, bringing the energy to this rally. But again, peaceful, right? We're only chanting good things for Israel. We're not chanting anything bad towards anything else, right? We don't wish harm upon anyone. We wish peace for everyone, right? We just want peace. That's it.
This is great. Thank you. God bless you guys. You guys are wonderful, and have a safe trip back to where you guys are going.
Thank you. Have a good
Gracious.
one.
That was. Thank you. That was heartfelt there, and I gotta tell you, I saw them earlier, and you have a sense of emotion that they are here despite all of the difficulties that the Jewish community is going through. They still have hope. They still have promise. They still have very optimism, and it's great to see all of that together. I do want to take a second and go to our website, rspnetwork.com/newsletter. Click on that tab. Grace Saldana will probably write something wonderful about this event here. But go subscribe. It's absolutely free. It takes 2 seconds to do that. rspnetwork.com. Click on the newsletter, subscribe, a couple things in there, and you can do that. Also, that October 15th deadline for taxes has expired, but don't let that stress you out right now. Our friends over at Tax Network USA have a solution for you. It doesn't matter if you owe $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 in taxes. They will help you resolve all of that. So get rid of the anxiety, get rid of all that. If you hadn't paid taxes in a year or 10 years, don't worry about that. The information to get involved right now is on your screen. Go check it out, Tax USA, TaxNetworkUSA.com. Obviously, a lot of students out here. We're having some fun today, aren't we? Obviously, I've never seen so many happy, joyous people in the months of some difficult times, and that is, I feel like, what the Jewish people represent: love and for one another, and that's what you guys are doing today. I think it's wonderful. Where are you guys from?
Noam.
New Jersey.
In Paramus, New Jersey.
Paramus, New Jersey. Yes. Paramus, New Jersey. All right, so who's the leader? Did you bring all these girls down?
Together with our school, yeah, with our principal, teachers, staff, all of us.
How is it so important right now that they see this in our nation's capital? Because I have been to presidential inaugurations. I have seen events here in Washington. I have never seen something as big as what's happening today outside of presidential inauguration. But how important is it for these young girls to experience all this?
I think our young generation needs to be part of this history, realizing together how we are protecting and coming together to stand with Israel, and they're on a momentous occasion.
Do we all feel safe in our communities at school? I mean, just show of hands. Yeah.
Security! Woo! We're saying shout out to Tommy, our lead of our security. Daryl! Tommy and Daryl.
So Tommy and Daryl are apparently doing a fantastic job keeping this school safe. They're the best, right? Yeah, they're the best. No, I think it's wonderful that you guys are out here, and I think you guys are learning that, you know, despite what happens in our world, that if we all pray and we all stay together and we all show compassion and we fight evil head on, that we will win, right? We will win. Thank you guys so much. Peace be with you guys. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic. You know, that's a little bit of what you get here. And like I said, this is a little different than the recent marches for the pro-Palestine. It was nothing like this. It was angry. And look at all the people smiling and dancing, having a good time. So it's just wonderful. Also, we'll make sure that you go to our website, and we also for donations as well. So go to rspnetwork.com/donate, and also our friends over at My Pillow. How wonderful was that just now? I mean, come on.
We're so
Impromptu bunch of love and happiness.
how everybody feels. We all love Israel.
Where are you guys from?
We're from New Jersey. Yeah.
Is it first time to an event like this big, large?
Yeah, it's really nice to see how everybody's come together to show support for Israel.
I think it's important for you guys to come out and to witness all this.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Well, this is a good time. So, well, we're all out here. Well, look at you. Wonderful. Well, it's history. You know, it's history unfolding in front of us, and it's. Okay, so tell me about your friends and family have you checked on them?
Friends that are killed in Israel, and I have friends that are their fathers are killed, and I have a lot of friends. So I come here to feel safe.
Yeah, and also to pray for them as well. Right.
Yeah.
Pray for their safety and protection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you feel safe here. That's one of the things. I think they've done a tremendous job of fencing the perimeter to kind of control the access to the mall. It's not open like most events, so there is not one. There's about 4 giant entry points to get into the mall. So that it does eliminate a lot of
עזרי מעם השם עושה שמיים וארץ עליתי למות רגליך על ינום שומרך הנה לא ינום ולא ישן שומר ישראל השם שומרך השם צילך על יד ימינך יומם השמש לא יככה וירח בלילה השם ישמורך מכל רע ישמור את נפשך השם ישמור צאתך ובואך מעתה ועד עולם מעתה עוד אחד מעתה השם ישמור אתכם.
Please welcome Deborah Messing.
Shalom, friends. I love you too. I know you are in pain. I know you are afraid. I know you feel alone and abandoned by people you thought were your friends. I know you feel misunderstood and maligned. I know because I do too. But looking out at all of us today, we also know that we are not alone because we have each other. We are all being tested. A tsunami of hate has crashed down upon us, and then a deafening silence. We see clearly now. We see naked, virulent Jew hatred being disguised as a noble call for liberation, and we reject it. What does Israel's defense and response to a terrorist attack have to do with an elderly Jewish man in California killed for holding an Israeli flag? This is madness. This is terrorism. But we will win. We always have. We are strong, resilient, and devoted, and we will not lose ourselves. We will worry for our global Jewish family and also hurt for the innocent Palestinians used as human shields by Hamas. We will work to eviscerate Hamas and also pray for a free and flourishing Gaza. We will remember and work for the release of the 240 hostages, as well as for the safety of the 2.2 million Gazans also held hostage by Hamas. We will pray for the success of the IDF in a war Israel did not start and did not want, but a war Israel will win. Because we must. Those who hate us deny our humanity and our right to exist. No matter. We know who we are. We know that especially in darkness, we stand united, proud, resolute, with absolute moral certitude in our light. Like our ancestors, who for 3,000 years looked hate straight in the eyes, we too will prevail. We will take care of each other. We will take care of our brothers and sisters in Israel. We will fight and we will love ferociously. Our light will shine until the darkness is defeated. Am Yisrael Chai. hostages were taken. Mothers, brothers, babies, grandmothers, we cannot allow the world to move on. We must not rest until these families are made whole. We have a number of them here with us today. In solidarity with them, I'd like to ask you to hold up your placards, their faces, for a moment of silence. Thank you. I now have the honor of introducing 3 family members of hostages, Orna Nutra, Alana Zaitchik, and Rachel Goldberg. May their courage and strength inspire us all.
Good afternoon. My name is Orna Nutra, and I am Omer's mom. Omer, born 1 month after 9/11, celebrated his 22nd birthday only a few weeks ago, captive by Hamas. Omer is a warm, optimistic, and people-loving person. Everywhere he goes, he immediately makes new friends. He is this big guy, 6'2", always with a smile on his face. In some ways, Omer grew up like any other kid on Long Island. He is truly a member of this wonderful Jewish community. He's crazy about sports, any sports, but he especially loves basketball. He was always a leader, whether the captain of his high school, the Schechter School of Long Island, or the regional president of his youth group, USY. He is also a dual citizen of both the United States and Israel, and was raised with a love and a passion for both of his homelands. So naturally, after graduating high school, he decided to take a gap year in Israel to connect with his roots. And the closer he grew to his new Israeli friends, the more he reflected on his own identity. As a descendant of Holocaust survivors on both sides, he understood the importance of a strong Israel. So, being the person that he is, he made the decision to join his new friends and serve in the IDF and protect the country. He was drafted as a lone soldier in the Armor Corps. He was protecting people when he was taken by Hamas. And since then, our lives have turned upside down. From a place of deep pain, we hold strong for you, Omer. We speak in your name tirelessly. We hope and pray and we act. And I must believe that our prayers and actions have power. Omer, you're not just my beloved son. You touch so many in deep and profound ways.
Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home.
Your friends, their parents, whole communities both here and around the world are praying and working for your safe return. And to everyone gathered here today, I want to tell you that there is power in speaking Omer's name, posting his picture, and keeping his story in the public eye, calling your representatives every single day. There is power in showing him the same love and compassion he has spent his young life showing everyone he meets. We all must use the power that we have to help bring Omer and all of the hostages home now.
Bring them home.
Bring them home. Bring them home. Thank you.
Bring them home.
My name is Alana Zajcik, and I'm here to tell you about love. On October 7th, my cousin, Sharon, her husband, David, their 3-year-old twins, Emma and Yuli, my cousin, Danielle, her 5-year-old daughter, Amelia, all 6 of them were brutally kidnapped from kibbutz Nir Oz. While the kibbutz was ravaged by Hamas, they hid in their bomb shelter for hours until it filled with smoke and they could not hide any longer, at which point Sharon sent a haunting voice note to her family group chat. "We're not going to make it out of this. We love you." The pain I have experienced since they were taken has been so sharp it follows my every breath. I wake up each morning to remember this truth. My family is being held hostage by terrorists. I am here with you because I love my family, and I promised I would scream to the ends of the earth for them. This unwavering love of family is the heart of what it means to be Jewish, and it is, more importantly, the heart of what it means to be human. But for too many in the West, the suffering of hostage families like mine has become a footnote, collateral damage in service of some perceived higher universal truth. For too many, it feels like to care about one family, to love one child, is to diminish the suffering of another. But the simple human truth is that you don't have to choose. You can abhor the suffering of Palestinian families and the suffering of Israeli families like mine. You can call for peace and the immediate return of the innocent men, women, and children who were violently taken from us. It doesn't need to be political to share in my grief or in the anguish that the Israeli people are feeling. To demand the release of the hostages is not an act of politics, nor is it a cry for war. It is an act of love and a cry for humanity. And love is the only thing that can repair our shattered hearts and bring us back together in the name of peace. Thank you.
My name is Rachel, and I am the mother of Hirsch Goldberg Poland, a wounded civilian American Israeli kidnapped from the music festival on October 7th. Right now, how we are living is hard to describe to you. We hostage families have lived the last 39 days in slow motion torment. For 38 nights, none of us have slept the real sleep of the before. We all have third-degree burns on our souls. Our hearts are bruised and seeping with misery. but the real souls suffering are those of the hostages. And they want to ask everyone in the world, all the screamers, the indifferent, the experts, the academics, the knowledgeable, the passives, the perfectly outraged, the righteous, the indignant, the haters, the leaders, the lovers, the every single one of us. Why? Why is the world accepting that 240 human beings from almost 30 countries have been stolen and buried alive? These children of God range in age from 9 months to 87 years. They are Christians, Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, and Hindu. Why are they being left underground in the dirt? Abigail Moore Edan is 3 years old. She watched her parents get murdered in front of her and was then kidnapped. And she would like me to ask the world, why are you letting her stay in the dark, in her trauma, buried in the earth's crust? And Joshua Molel, who is a Tanzanian African graduate student studying agribusiness, would like for me to ask you why somehow his life actually doesn't matter. The world must prepare what we will say to them. There was a Christian German who hid Jews during the Holocaust, and he was asked why he did such a heroic and dangerous act. His answer was simple: at least I will know when I die and stand before God, he will not ask me what he asked Cain in the Bible. Where were you when your brother's blood cried out from the ground? What the world needs to start thinking about today is, what will your excuse be? Bring them home now. Bring them home.
Please welcome the co-chairs of the Bipartisan Congressional Caucus to Combat Anti-Semitism, Senator Jackie Rosen, Senator James Lankford, Representative Chris Smith, and Representative Kathy Manning.
Please join us now as we recite a prayer for the hostages. God of mercy and compassion, we pray, we plead that you bless, protect, and guard those of your people, Israel, and of your people from all faiths and all nations, mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, soldiers, civilians, adults, youth, and babies, the captured and the missing, who have been cruelly and heartlessly torn from their homes and carried off.
May God have compassion on them and bring them out from darkness and the shadow of death. May God break their bonds, deliver them from their distress, and bring them swiftly back to their families' embrace. As we read in the words of the prophet Jeremiah, restrain your voice from weeping and your eyes from tears, for your work will be rewarded, declares the Lord. They will return from the land of the enemy.
And so we pray before you, O God of redemption, fulfill speedily the words of Genesis. Quote, Here I am with you. I will watch over you wherever you go and will bring you back to this land. Indeed, I will not leave you until I have done what I have said to you.
May the Holy One do all that must be done so that relief, rescue, and long life may be the lot of every one of the civilians and the soldiers who have been taken captive. We pray in the words of the 130th Psalm, Shir Hama'alot Mima Akim Karaticha Adonai. Out of the depths have we called you, O Lord. O Lord, hear our voices. Be attentive to our supplications, and let us say together, Amen.
Amen.
Please welcome back to the stage, the Maccabees.
We ask that everyone please join us in singing this prayer for our brothers and sisters in Israel, Achenu Kol Beit Yisrael. Let's have our voices be heard. Achenu Kol Beit Yisrael, Achenu Kol Beit Yisrael, Hanisunim Batzara, Batzara Uvashivya, Haomdim Bein Bayam Uvein Bayabasha.
We're live on the National Mall here in front of our Capitol. It looks like they're doing one closing segment of prayer and worship, and then it seems like it's going to conclude here at 3 o'clock. And we're going to try to get some comments as people are walking out. Now, before we just came on camera, I was talking to a couple of locals, and we were like, hey, what if you could guesstimate of how many people are actually here? We're in the neighborhood of basically between 100 and maybe 120,000 people here. It's hard to tell because this is such a large area. But there's a massive turnout today. Obviously, we heard from some great speakers, and we've seen I've heard some great personal stories here throughout the last couple of hours. And I just want to encourage everyone to go back. If you're just now watching us, please go back and watch some of the earlier coverage, as we heard some very heartfelt stories of loved ones, family members, friends that were either killed on the first day of the assault or that have died in the latter days of that October 7th. And we've learned for a few people that still have loved ones that are being kidnapped right now and held hostage. So our thoughts and prayers go out to all of them. But really, my biggest takeaway from today is the Jewish community has so much love for one another and love for the world that despite all of these horrible circumstances that are going on right now, they continue to be very optimistic and praise and worship. And that's what I really encourage you to go back and look at some of the footage we have earlier of some of the traditional dances that this broke out spontaneously in the middle of the street here. So I'd encourage you to do that as well. We are going to, let's say, there's a shot. We'll kind of give you a way. We got a lot of people that are kind of making their way over here and talking as they're making their way out of here. What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Eden. I'm from Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. What does it mean to you to be out here right now with probably one of the largest gatherings of the Jewish community that I have seen here in Washington, D.C.?
It's amazing. It's so inspiring to see how many Jewish people just come out here on a Tuesday just to support. Even being here is just so enlightening. It's amazing to see how many people we can have here. It just sucks that it has to be under these circumstances, not in any other chance, but it's cool to see all this.
But don't you think, despite all the horrible things that are going on, the optimism and the faith that the Jewish community has is something that I've never seen before? And I've said this time and time again. If you go back and look at the pro-Palestinian march that was here in D.C. just a couple of weeks ago, it was anger. It was just screaming and yelling and so much just hate towards the world.
This is the difference between us and them. We are for peace. They are for hate and violence.
That's the difference.
This is the big difference. We see we are singing, enjoying ourselves. We're not chanting, deaf, and all this stuff. You know, it's different.
It's different. Well, God bless you guys for coming out here. Thank you so much. Keep up. Thank you so much. Peace for you guys. Yes, and that, that's just a sample of really what we've encountered today. How you guys doing? Thank you. Well, yes, we're proud, and it's great to see such a gathering in the Jewish community and Christian community coming together for this event.
Yes, absolutely. It was so encouraging to see people holding their signs, the Christians with Israel, and we all thank them for the solidarity.
Yeah, I know that we're all praying. I said earlier, everyone's so happy and joyous and singing and dancing, which is a big part. Peacefully, yeah.
Very peaceful gathering here. I'm very proud to be Jewish. I'm very proud to be Israeli right now. It warms my heart to see all these people supporting Israel. This is an unbelievable feeling that I have.
Now, where do you guys live now?
Philadelphia. Yes.
A lot of people came down from all across this country.
All over. Yep. All over.
And also reunions. I have my son coming from Pittsburgh University. I have other families that their kids came from Maryland University. We couldn't get together because apparently the internet, no reception.
Yeah.
I was going to say, for those that are trying to text me, I'm not ignoring your texts. I'm just not getting them at one point. It's very sketchy, the signal is. But a lot of people, a lot of praise and worship. Obviously, any one of the speeches that stood out to you today that really resonated with you? Anybody on stage?
Anybody specific? Well, the parents of Omer, one of the kidnapped. I mean, we're doing a lot of activities in Philadelphia for the kidnapped, so I try to get to know all the names and their ages and what they've done before being kidnapped, obviously. So I felt very bad for the mom. She misses her son and her, her feeling right now that she doesn't know what's going on with him. I have 3 daughters, so my heart goes out to her. Really, it's very painful. It's very difficult.
And when you see images of people around this country ripping down the posters of these missing kids, I saw one video, a guy in Brooklyn said enough of that. He fought back and said, you're not going to do that in my neighborhood. But what a horrible image of some of these people that are ripping down the missing person signs.
I think my message to these people is, if this was a missing dog, would you rip it? You would never, because it's a missing dog and someone loves them and looking for them. Why would you do it to another human being, regardless of your political opinion, regardless if you hate the Jews? Why would you do that? That's what I don't understand. We would never do it to another missing cat or dog, and so
we would not do it to anybody else, not a cat or a dog, not anybody else. If somebody puts a sign up there, it means something for him. So why to do it? Why to take it down? I mean, that part I don't get. I really don't understand.
Hopefully, a lot of people can leave here today with some healing, a little bit more positivity, some hope. Obviously, they've got the Capitol building behind us, and we just approved more funding for Israel. Now, I will say this. I will get political for a second. There's funding to help Israel that's in the Senate right now that was passed through Congress at a previous bill. So it's sitting there. So Chuck Schumer, who was on stage earlier, and he supports Israel, I know that, but there's also funding that he has not pushed through the Senate, so the Senate needs to get involved to push that through. And obviously, Israel is doing a tremendous job already defeating Hamas without any type of outside military help like the United States coming in. So hopefully...
They did help. They did send 2 ships to Israel.
Ships, yeah.
And I think all of what we had, from my understanding, everything that was in Israel 4 times like this was actually shipped to Ukraine, rightly so, to help them. So all the ammunition was unavailable, but then they shipped more. I believe that we're doing the work that no nation can or will do, fighting the Hamas. And for me, one of the speakers that resonated was the one that said, we are all working towards Gaza to rebuild and be green and lovely again. Most of the Israelis, we're both from Israel, do not hate the Palestinians, do not want to beat the Palestinians. We want to beat Hamas so that the two nations could live peacefully. October 6th, Israel was in ceasefire. Israel did not occupy Gaza, right? And so our intention was not to go to a war. We were dragged into this war, and we will beat them, because we always do.
Well, God bless you guys out here. Have a safe trip back to Philadelphia. Thank you very much. And I just love that is, once again, a sample of the feedback that you're going to get from this event. And, you know, you hear the stories, you hear the families, the friend, the loved ones, and the hope for a better part of the world over there, as they did not ask for this. And like on October 6th, the fight came to them. And of course, a lot of the message has been they're going to finish this fight and defeat Hamas. It's not necessarily defeating the Palestinian people. I think the people of Palestine have been hijacked, for lack of a better word, by Hamas through fraudulent elections and pretty much a dictatorship over everything. Let's pan the crowd right over there. I know that it's really interesting. You're getting a lot of crowd response. If you're just now joining us, we are live here at the National Mall in front of our nation's capital. You've got the Lincoln Memorial back there. You've also got you've got just, I would probably say 50,000 people maybe just on this side. You've got two monitors that are broadcasting from the speeches, because obviously there's a lot of people. Go Michigan too, right? Here we go. On both sides. Oh, there you go. There you go. There we go. A little football talk here. But you got both video screens going on right now, so you got a lot of ways to view all of this. I've got some video of a gathering that happened during one of the speeches, and it was all of the families of the hostages. All the families right now with their loved ones are being held in hostage, and they had kind of a prayer vigil. They sang kind of a unity song. I've got some video on my phone. I'll push that out on Twitter here shortly as soon as this broadcast is over. But it was a moment that I think that really, really resonated with me, because like those two ladies just said, imagine if you had a dog or a cat that was missing. You would hang up a sign saying, please, bring this pet home. We're talking about humans here. We're talking about real people, family members, sons, daughters, grandmothers, moms, dads that are held in hostage. So it's very important that we continue to really support the message of releasing the hostages, and of course the message of a peaceful end to all of this, I think, is what's really, really important. Looks like we've got a lot of people are starting to make their way, so they are kind of wrapping up the speech here in our nation's capital. I tell you what, let's go ahead and get a few more interviews, and I want to just remind you real quickly, an event like this is only possible through our presenting sponsors, and you've got companies that have really stepped up and said, you know what, I support your coverage of what's going on in D.C., so we want to step up. So remember, the Birch Gold Group, if you want to invest in gold, silver, precious metals, take advantage of their offer. Reach out to the Birch Gold Group and do just that. Support them. Okay, support the Tax Network USA. Support those guys. So if for whatever the October 15th deadline has passed and you got anxiety and you don't know what to do with your tax situation, the Tax Network USA is the ones for you. Information for that is likely on your screen as well. And of course, we can never say enough about our friends over at MyPillow, Mike Lynn. Did a fantastic job. He would absolutely be here. I know he is a man of faith. He supports Israel, and so we want to support him, especially coming up on the Christmas season. You can go shop, do all of that right there as well. So support that. Don't forget to go to our website as well. I want to close it out with a couple guys. How are we doing today? Where are we from?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay.
Brooklyn, New York. Boston.
A lot of people from the Northeast down here. I was just saying, I've never seen so many people come together here in D.C. I mean, outside of a presidential inauguration, in my opinion, this is one of the biggest gatherings I've ever seen, and what a great community that they're coming out to support our Jewish friends in Israel.
Yes, this is the biggest Jewish gathering I've ever seen in my life, and it is really beautiful, and it makes me feel that all the Jewish people are together with us, and it's very heartwarming, especially coming back from Israel. I was in Israel 2 weeks ago. and hearing how much everybody in Israel wants our prayers and our mitzvos. It's very special to come here and actually help people put on tefillin, which we were doing today. And it means a lot to the people in Israel, to the soldiers. And that's it. Very beautiful.
You can please let them, that our friends over at Right Side Broadcasting Network, or Conservative, or God, Family First, Faith. You know who we are? Yeah. So let's let everybody know over in Israel and the soldiers that they have our prayers, our genuine prayers. It's not just we throw it out there. We're praying.
He's going back to Israel in about a week or two.
Wonderful. So obviously, thanks for watching our network.
Oh, well, thank you for having it.
Yeah. Well, this was very important for us to be out here and cover this. It was a priority for us to do it.
We all appreciate that, and the main thing is that we should be able to take this unity forward and not just come together in times of sorrow, but come together in times of joy.
I agree. God bless you guys. God bless. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a safe trip back. It's just amazing. And I'm going to say this over and over again because I really want to hammer home here that this is a 180 from what we saw 2 weeks ago. And we didn't cover that event, nor would I ever cover an event like that. But I dropped in and watched it. I was in the office building. I saw the people marching up and angrily shouting at some of our elected politicians that were out there. So this is a complete difference from what we saw, and it's a peaceful gathering. Okay, so I tell you what, remember, support our partners. Go to our website, rspnetwork.com/donate as well. You can donate there. And anyway, yes, ma'am, I'm about to just want to say hello. You're my last two interviews. We're live right now, so let you know. You're my last two people we're going to talk to today. What does it mean to you to be out here today?
It's deeply meaningful. My mother-in-law is from Paris originally. I live in New Jersey. And the level of Jew hatred that we are experiencing for my mother-in-law, unfortunately, this is a resurgence. And she was just saying how painful it is because it's even harder this time because it's more widespread. And for me, it's a new level of shock. I have high school students who I found myself trying to describe to them how 25 years ago when I was about their age, thinking that people would talk this way about our ally Israel was unfathomable. And they were just looking at me thinking like maybe she's exaggerating. And that was so sad. Yeah. It's heartbreaking. And honestly, yeah, go ahead.
You know, 50 years ago, I was fighting for Soviet Jewry in Paris. And we chained ourselves in front of the embassy to get them freed. And then later on, earlier on, there was the 1967 war where we fought for Israel, and 73, and then 2001 here. And now it feels like it's endless. It's endless. And this attack on Jews is really unbearable. You know, our parents, grandparents have gone through the Holocaust, and it's really unbearable that we have to fight for us, for Israel, for the Jews all over the world. It's really unbearable.
I have a very good friend from graduate school who is a devout Muslim, and we've been friends for many years. And what happened over the last few weeks was so heartbreaking and shocking. It shook my foundation because she is a soft-spoken, deeply empathetic, sensitive person, and she genuinely believes that the terror attack on October 7th was justified. And it really shook my foundation. I'm not saying that, I'm not exaggerating. How can that be? And here I was thinking, like, out there's a huge population of moderate, peaceful Muslims, and I'm friends with one of them. And now I'm not so shocked that I don't see their voices. I wish I could say, where are you? Why aren't you condemning what the terrorists are turning Islam into? Where are you?
Also, the TV station, they're not showing what happened to the Jews. They're only showing people talking and defending, but they're showing the hospital in Gaza. They're saying, you know, and Israel always, again, being judged at a double standard, which they're always above. They're always trying to save lives. And they're judged like there's total reversal of value that is, again,
while this is happening, we're also deeply grateful for, you know, this land of grace, the Medina Shel Chesed in Hebrew, this land, this country. So far, we still are very lucky that President Biden is still standing with Israel. But you know what? It could have been any other way. Yeah. we're lucky he was our president today.
Yeah. Well, this is what someone gave me here.
Yachad Natseach.
What?
Yachad
Yachad.
Natseach.
Yeah.
We're together. Yeah, I remembered the word together. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for sharing your stories, and God bless you guys. And then hopefully that when the next time everyone comes together, it's in better circumstances, not trying to fight that. It's all coming together. Thank you so much. All right, on that note, I think it's a great note that we say so long. And programming note, the next broadcast we have, I believe we are live on Saturday in Iowa, as President Trump is making another campaign stop there in Iowa. We've got some important dates coming up. January 15th is the Iowa caucus, 7 p.m. And then February 13th, I believe, shifts over to the primary in New Hampshire. So we've got some really two important states coming up, but we're going to be live on Saturday in Iowa. Vanessa Broussard and Jessica Riviera will have all the action for that. Reminder, follow me on social media. I'm going to try to go live on Instagram here in a few minutes, or on Twitter, just to kind of show you some sights and sounds over here. But you can follow me at Brian Glenn TV across the board on social media. You can follow me at Brian on Truth Social. And don't forget to follow Right Side across the platform, as that's the best way to keep up with things that we're doing out in the land of politics. All right, I'll let you look towards the stage. Until next time, everybody, what a beautiful day. I say so long, good night. From beautiful Washington, D.C., good night and God bless. We'll see you.